Today we'll do more with loops. I have an array of numbers here and I want to get the sum of them. Based on what we learned last time, we can do something like this. I can use the index of each number to get each number and then add them like this. And just keep adding them. And then after I save my file, if I refresh this, I don't see anything, and actually there's no way for me to get at the sum, so I'm gonna set the result of this onto a variable sum like this. So I'll say var sum equals to this, and now if I refresh and type sum here and press enter, I'll get my sum. That's great and all, but it's really not much different from manually typing out like var sum equals to 10 plus 20 plus 80 plus 100. Also, if I want to add a new number, I would have to add it to my list of numbers and then also add it to the end of here and say plus my numbers of 4, or do plus 2 and 2. It's kind of a lot of work just to update our sum. We can use arrays to our advantage here. I'm going to comment out these two lines. Arrays have a really neat way of letting us do something on each item on the list. So it looks like this. My numbers dot for each, and then in here let's just put some fake code for now. We say do something for each item. So it looks like this basically. And this do something part is actually looking for a function that takes the value of each item. For example, here it's each number. And then we write what it should do for each number in here. I want to see this in action, so I'm going to ask the console to log each number. And then I save this file and I refresh here, and we can see indeed that we get each number in order in the console. That's pretty neat, and we can actually use this as we write our summing function. We can use for each to help us add up each of the numbers so that we can get the sum. We would start with var sum equals to 0. Each time we have a number, we would set the sum equals to the sum up to that point plus that number. Let's write out what this looks like. Sum would start out equals to 0. And the number would start out equal to 10. So sum then equals to 0 plus 10. The next time, for the next number when this runs, sum would now equals to 0, and then number equals to 20. So now we are saying that sum equals to 10 plus 20. And the next time this runs, we get sum equals to 30. Since sum is equal to 10 plus 20. And now number is 80, because that's the next number on the list. And now sum would be equals to 30 plus 80. and so on and so forth. This repeats until the last number in the list or in the array. So now if I save this and then refresh this and then ask what sum is, we get 422. Just like if we were to run this. I'm going to copy. Just like if we were to run this. Or if we wrote this into a calculator and asked the calculator to sum this for us. So for each number, we are asking the computer to increase the sum by that number. Something neat is we can ask the computer to remember the set of instructions as calculate sum, for example, and then say that anytime it gets a list of numbers, it should run these instructions where var sum is equal to 0, and then it'll take where a list of numbers, it'll take the list of numbers, and for each value it'll increase the sum by the number. If I save this right now and then refresh the side and ask the computer to calculate sum of my numbers, I don't get anything back. That's because this function is missing something. We can ask a function to return something to us. In this case, we want calculate sum to return to us the sum. And so now if I save this and refresh, I can calculate sum of my numbers and we'll get back 422. And now I can call calculate sum on any list of numbers, 3, 4, 5, 6, for example. I can call calculate sum on 3, 4, 5, 6, for example, and get back the sum, just like that. For our class project, we'll write some instructions so the computer can help us calculate the Scrabble points for a list of words.